And now for something completely different.
Now, today, we're going to talk about Star Wars. Now, there was a point in time years ago where I'd be like the happiest dude in the whole damn world talking about Star Wars right now. I would have been, man, I would have been the happiest nigga in the goddamn world talking about Star Wars. Like, this was like 2015, 2016. Woo wee! Oh, man, I would have been so excited, man. I would have been bouncing off the walls talking about Star Wars. But many years later now, it's like not really the same. And that's not to say that I don't enjoy it at all anymore, or that it isn't still extremely close to my heart, because it very much is. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be talking about it right now. And we're gonna get into all that today. It's May the 4th. Happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Like, seriously, may the force be with you. All that shit, son. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about Star Wars today. And we can kind of call this sort of like a State of the Union, a State of the Address for Star Wars. I recently just got through finishing up the Darth Maul series, Darth Maul Shadow Lord, animated series on Disney Plus. Same type of animation as the Clone Wars show. You can almost call it basically like a spin-off of that. And I actually enjoyed it. It's probably my favorite thing Star Wars related to come out in a while. And obviously under Disney, under Disney, it's been interesting, because it's like that is where the apathy, because that's pretty much where it's at. It's like a lot of people aren't even like angry with the way Star Wars has been going. It's really more apathy than anything else right now. It's like the age of apathy for a lot of things, but definitely Star Wars. Not to say that there aren't still people that are absolutely obsessed and love the shit, but the amount of people that are like now compared to before, it just ain't the same no more. And there's a lot of reasons for that, because Disney has not done a great job with the brand. Because there was a point in time where like anything Star Wars related was just gonna get you, just like everyone was gonna be talking about it. Fucking, it could be a jar of fucking mayonnaise on the screen with Star Wars, and people would have been talking about it. But now not so much, and it's like it's been good stuff. Like like stuff that I think is like either good or not bad. Like a Rogue One. I enjoyed this. Like it's not. There are parts of it that aren't great, but definitely that final act was amazing. And then the Andor show just kind of adds more to it. And then Andor, like some people are saying, it's arguably the greatest thing to come out of Star Wars. The first two seasons of The Mandalorian were like okay to decent episode by episode. And then they shit the bed in season 3. But the first two seasons were solid enough. Breathe some life into Star Wars after coming off the end of the sequel trilogy. The Jedi Survivor games, pretty good. Cal Kestis's journey was a lot of fun to play through. The Solo movie wasn't like bad. I mean, I don't think it does any justice to Han Solo as a character whatsoever, but like the movie itself is fine. And what is it? There's like some parts of like Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Underworld that were like cool, but some parts that weren't so good. But all that to say that, and then the Maul Shadow Lord shows are pretty decent. So it's like it's been decent stuff. for sure. But of course, doesn't make up for all the trash. Like, the fucking Acolyte never should have been made. The sequel trilogy, clearly they had no plan. And it's like all the ingredients were there to make, like, they could have made something that could have been better than the original trilogy in the prequel trilogy, but they didn't have a plan. They had all these conflicting visions, and then of course they let and they let a Mr. Ruin Johnson come in and just deconstruct the fucking thing to death, and then Mr. Jar Jar Abrams didn't do it any justice either with all the mystery box shenanigans and all that. People didn't pick apart those films enough as it is, and I honestly don't want to go too deep into the mind to fucking pick out every flaw with those or whatever. Just I don't like them, and they did so much damage to the brand of Star Wars, and then just kind of felt like a lot of the people in charge and the creative seemed to be at war with the fan base, and then just wanted to push away a lot of the people that was making it so successful, buying the merch and anything related to it and all that. But it's like Star Wars is like Star Wars was like the biggest thing. It was so huge. It was so big. It was so amazing. Sure, not was everything about it just perfection. Of course not. And, there was always people kind of divided on some things, but there was still like a genuine love. It wasn't like this just super divided franchise like it is today, where it just seems like it's like they use your opinions of it as like a litmus test of what kind of person you are, and that's done with a lot of things these days. It's like to live long enough to see so many things that I love go up in flames. But it's like, and then we got the Mandalorian and Grogu movie about to come out this month, and there's like not really a lot of hype for it. No one's like, there's nothing that's been seen that people are just like hating on or whatever. It's just people just kind of like, I might watch it. This is pretty much, like I said, it's apathy with Star Wars now. It's like, it's just pure apathy, which was something that wasn't even imaginable, like as a kid before. Like I still remember first getting into it, my mom introduced me to it watching the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Went to go see, I remember vividly going to go see Revenge of the Sith. That was back when they still let you take your lightsabers into the theater. And I remember all the different emotions people had. Like I remember how sad everyone got when Mace Windu died. And like I think I went with my cousin. Like he had a purple Mace Windu lightsaber. Like his lightsaber was on during the fight, and then it was like when Mace Windu died, he gets electrocuted by Palpatine after getting his hand cut off by Anakin. Like he turned his lightsaber off, and he just looked so sad. And it's just like there's so many emotions with that. It was just, man, it was truly something. It was truly something, Star Wars. And, watching the original trilogy, getting into that, like, I own as many of the action figures as I was allowed to, like, get and afford. I had the video games. Like, I had one of the fucking plug and play things, like this clone game that I got from Ross. Like, one of those plug and plays. I had a lot of fun with that. I had, the Lego Star Wars Battlefront, and you'll see some Battlefront 2 gameplay in the background. But yeah, the original Battlefront 2 had that on PSP as well. And just as many of that as I could get. Had all the merchandise. Still own some rare merchandise too to this very day. Like I lived and breathed Star Wars. Like I was reading like the expanded universe novels. Had the coloring books, had the encyclopedias. I knew like so much information just off the top of my head, like the names of like the popular ships, the obscure ships, and we could like had friends and family. We just talk about it all day. Like Star Wars was the shit. kids today, they don't understand just how big Star Wars was. Like of course, like it's still big, but it's big because of the foundation that was laid so long ago. Because like Star Wars is like what, almost 50 years old now. But it's because of that. It's not necessarily because of anything that's been done with it recently, whether good or bad. It's because it laid George Lucas and everyone else that helped bring it to life all that time ago. They did such a great job with all that. It still remained relevant, even though it's lost a lot of relevance. People still know what it is, even if like public interest isn't there as much as it used to be, And then as you've seen, like kind of recently, they've been moving more and more away from like the newer stuff, like the sequel trilogy stuff, because there's not really much of an audience for it. Like, like when they would put out the merchandise, it would always end up in the bargain bins a lot of the time because nobody was buying it, because it's like, like nobody wanted like no damn Rose Tico or Rey Skywalker or Finn or Poe Dameron toys and all this shit. Like at most they might get like a Kylo Ren toy, maybe some BB-8, I guess. But like, what's the stuff that's usually selling? It's like stuff from the original trilogy, like Darth Vader, R2-D2, and shit like that. And of course, the prequel stuff, people still love like that, as divisive as even those were. But of course, opinions have kind of, they've shifted as time has went on those. And people have come to like appreciate them more. That doesn't mean that like they're just not flawed at all, but they were definitely like better than people gave them credit for, I would say, in certain areas. Some areas of them are still kind of crappy, but like overall, I think there was definitely a real foundation there, unlike the newer films. And it's like, yeah, that's why they're still making stuff about a character like Maul. Still doesn't make any fucking sense that he survived. Like, what the fuck? Like fucking getting chopped in half. How are you alive? They don't even really give much of an explanation. It's like, yeah, his hate just kind of kept him alive, guys. And then it's like, damn, lightsabers don't even have the same effect that they used to a lot of the time. Like, seeing so many motherfuckers get stabbed by one or whatever, like injuries that probably should have been fatal, and then they somehow living. But yeah, my guy Qui-Gon Jinn, is like, fuck him though. yeah, fuck him, guys. Nah. He got stabbed in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he did. But like other people, like what was that? What was that one chick who they were like in the Kenobi show that they wanted to put so much focus on for some reason. Yeah, she gets stabbed by Vader. It's like, oh no, she's fine, guys. She's fine. Flesh wound. But anyway, it's like, yeah, a lot of this newer shit just ain't sticking. That's why they constantly, you ever notice we kind of constantly stuck in like this era of shows where they're like, oh yeah, in between what was going on between episodes 3 and 4 and 4 and 5, 5 and 6, or a little bit after that. Like, you guys remember that damn Rey movie that got announced, and apparently it's supposed to be like a Rey trilogy, got announced like 3 years ago, and we've heard like barely anything since, And then of course several other like spin-offs and all these things that may or may not happen to me. There's already been several Star Wars projects that never even happened or whatever. Like I remember in the Han Solo movies that was supposed to be like a trilogy, and now the Maul show is like kind of bridging the gap on that, on how he, rebuilds, how Maul rebuilds his crime syndicate and shit like that. But yeah. But overall, I did genuinely enjoy that show. Nothing like groundbreaking, but it was some solid Star Wars. You know what I mean? Solid Star. Wasn't really nothing in there that I just like, oh my god, that fucking sucked. It was just like, yeah, pretty solid stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's like Star Wars is in like a weird place, and it's been in this place for a while. It's just like, it's because they've burned so many bridges and all that, it's gonna be hard to really get the fan base back, to be honest with you. Like, even if they was like, yeah, don't worry guys, we're decanonizing the whole sequel trilogy, it's like, even then, I don't think it would be enough to fully get everybody on board, because like the damage has been done. Like I remember like people were calling for Kathleen Kennedy to be removed for like years, and then it finally happened, and everybody was like, oh, okay, like who cares? I mean, and then pretty much it was like she was already had her people in place to kind of run things the way that she was fine with for a while anyway. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, like whatever. It just kind of felt like whatever. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, fine, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess that would have been a bigger deal, love or hate or whatever, like years ago. But now it's like, oh, okay, I guess so. Don't even really matter now. And besides, it's like, regardless of how much power she had, it's like, you know, it's not like she was making every decision alone or on her own or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, regardless, like, yeah, how you feel about her, whether you love her or hate her, doesn't really matter. It doesn't really like matter in this context. The point is, it's like, you know, things were they were good. They were happening a certain way because that was the will of a lot of people, not just one person. You know what I'm saying? So just getting rid of her isn't like enough. Just like in like a lot of things, like organizations and stuff like that. It's like, it was like something that I actually liked in like the Wonder Woman movie before they kind of ruined it. Right after, it was like when she kills the German guy, and she's convinced like, oh yeah, he's the main guy. So we get rid of him, then everything will be fine. But then she's like shocked to see that everyone's still fighting, and Steve Trevor has to explain to her that it's like things are just more complicated than that in the human world and whatnot. But then, you know, she has to have a big fucking CGI battle with Ares and blah blah blah. So yeah. But overall, it's not, things aren't that simple. You just get rid of one person, and then everything is like, oh yeah, everything is honky dory after that. But nevertheless, it's like, it'll take a lot to get people, like, to get a lot of the fans back, because, you know, they felt so alienated by the way the franchise went, including me to a degree. So it's like, yeah, it's like, and that's what, and that's pretty much how it turned from, like, you know, everybody loving it to a lot of people just hating the direction of what's going on, to just kind of like, whatever. Like, I mean, like, shit, I remember when that trailer that they put out, that fucking, I guess it's supposed to be like a parody of a beer commercial from the 90s with the Mandalorian Grogu, where they got the tom-toms like on the sleigh and whatnot. And we were just looking at that, like, everybody's looking at that, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, you want to get people hyped for this shit. Like, maybe years ago when the brand was healthier, that could have flown. But, like, now it's like, come on, brother. Come on, man. Like, nah, that's not really going to cut it right there. It's not really going to cut it. You gotta come out swinging these days. Like, nah. Can't be half-assing it. But, yeah. You know. It's like, if I can just kind of conclude things here, is that Star Wars is this brand that has meant so much to people for so long. So for them to kind of have it in this state really just shows a lot. Like, even if you just love, even if, like, you know, you're just full on, like, you a Disney show, you just love everything that they've done. You think everybody is the people that don't like it are just a bunch of cocksuckers who hate everything, or as a isphobe, this, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You gotta admit, it's like, this is not like a healthy brand with this, because there was a point in time where it was like, it didn't really matter. People love it or hate it. There used to be a point where it's like, man, anything Star Wars related just had people hyped, and you just don't have that anymore. And I just and it's like, and that's not even to say that literally everything about it that's come out is bad. Like I said, there are things that have come out that I even like actually genuinely enjoyed, but the brand just isn't what it was before. And yeah, like they're saying that the Mandalorian Grogu movie, it might even flop. I don't even know 100% if that's true, that it'll just straight up flop. But I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up like underperforming, or like just kind of does okay, and then, you know, it might have a decent opening weekend and then just drops off, like we've seen a lot A lot of movies I remember when like Brave New World or more like Boring New World came out last year. It had like a decent opening weekend and it just completely dropped off a cliff after that, and everybody just kind of forgot about it. I can see that happening, especially because after season 3 of The Mandalorian, it's like hype for that just kind of went down. And honestly, like I honestly don't even really care about Mando or Grogu at this point anymore. You know, Din Djarin. I just kind of like whatever. They're just kind of whatever at this point. And then it's like, man, and it's always that thought. It's like, oh, even when like the good stuff starts coming, it's like, oh yeah, all roads still lead to the sequels. All roads lead to the sequel trilogy where they just completely fuck it up. Just like, man, just threw it all of it in the trash. Woo! My goodness. But nevertheless, I will always be a fan of Star Wars. You know, I'll always love, you know, the Jedi, the Sith, and you know, the bounty hunters, all these vast worlds, and all the moral lessons, all of just the really cool shit, and like the characters, the stories, you know, the classic hero's journey and all the different complexities. This is always going to be a part of me that loves it. But I'd be lying if I said I love it as much as I did when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you feel just feel a little apathetic towards it now, which is something that I never thought would happen. But nevertheless, you know, every once in a while, like with the Maul show, you know, I watched that all the way through, enjoy it. Like, you know, every once in a while stuff comes, kind of like with Marvel. It's like, you know, they've been majorly disappointing since Endgame. But honestly, things were already starting to show signs of cracking even before Endgame, honestly. And even Endgame itself isn't like a fucking masterpiece. It's got a lot of problems, but like, yeah, it has been, man, there's been some real stinky shit coming out from them. And then in DC has been like a fucking mess and all this shit. So, you know, but I'll always love those things, like what it represents as a whole and all that. But anyways, I think that's all I got to say about this. If you made it to the end of the video, I greatly appreciate it. You know, give me your thoughts about Star Wars. Like, when did you first become a fan, and how have you felt about, you know, the more recent stuff? How you feel about the Disney era? How you feel about the prequel era? Like, you know, how you feel about all the games and the novels, all that stuff. You know, share some of your favorite and least favorite Star Wars stuff, you know, in the comments, if any of y'all bother to leave a comment. I definitely appreciate it. Not just for like the engagement, because I genuinely like to hear it, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you when I see you, boy.